I'm here at Cessnock Sports Ground. Why? Because we have two of the most experienced but lesser known guys, not in the local footy though, Butts and Fordo. Guys, now can I ask, I'm assuming you played football to start with. Now what made you want to get into commentating?
Well, basically, yeah, you're right. We did play in the local competition for a number of years, and we found ourselves sitting at home on the weekend with little to do and thought this was a bit of a niche market of covering the local football.
Nice. Do you have families? How do your wives feel about you guys ducking off every weekend to call the footy instead of changing diapers?
Oh, well, the kids are out of diapers, luckily, at this stage, but yeah, they take it pretty good. They actually enjoy us getting out of the house, I think, more than anything.
Now, I know a lot of the younger players for the Knights come through these ranks, real NRL. Have you commentated anyone that we know from the Knights, famous, that have moved on to other clubs?
Good question, and the answer is probably, at the moment, Mark DeFille is playing for the Western Suburbs side who came from the Knights, and realistically it's mainly people that are coming back from the NRL rather than going forward, because generally they've been picked up by those bigger clubs at a younger age.
Because you have been around the traps a little while, can I ask a personal question? How do you guys feel about NRL players switching codes?
Well, I'm an old code switch myself from way back, so I think it's probably overblown a bit. I mean, they're all capable in both sports. They should be able to play both sports. And
the money? Do you think NRL needs to raise their money, maybe let them do a few sponsorships and a bit of a under the hat kind of thing, or?
I think as far as the money is concerned, and particularly with the real NRL here, it'd be good to see some of this, the media money that's been generated over the last couple of years be filtered down to the local clubs like the Cessnock and the Torontos and probably not Western Suburbs, but it would be good to see them get a bigger piece of the pie, so to speak. Fantastic.
Now, speaking of that and getting a bigger pie of things, Hunter TV, if it comes on, what will that mean for local footy?
Oh, well, I think it'll be a great initiative, so people can actually tune in to the game each week rather than live stream it, where there's issues with dropouts and whatnot. So I think it'd be a great thing for the local rugby league. So people, the local supporters have got something to look forward to every weekend.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, as commentators, do you guys have to warm up? Do you do a few lahs, or do you run around the block, pump up, listen to Rocky, that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, we usually warm up at the local hotel, whichever ground we're at, and that way we can get a feel of the local surroundings and the supporters, etc. So today we're at the Railway Hotel. We've been known to visit Head and Greeter Hotel, General Roberts Hotel, and we find that puts us in a relaxing mood for the next 2 or 3 hours.
A few beers on your way as well, I'm sure, when you go to those things. Now, guys, I have to say you do a great job. Love your commentating. What would be the hardest thing to commentate? I know last round there was a bit of a biffo near the end of the match. What do you do when guys go punch on? Do you commentate? Do you just ignore it?
Well, last week I was actually on the sideline to go and give the man the match award out, and Butts did a fantastic job of commentating the big stink after the siren. It was great viewing and did quite a good job of that. But I think the hardest part of commentary when a game's a bit of a blowout and the crowd's walking out the ground, and that's the hardest part. But we still enjoy it, and we stayed till the final whistle, that we, Butts.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the hardest things was when we've been sledged a couple of times, and last year's grand final when Toronto Scorpions won reserve grade, and they were celebrating their victory, and at the same time we were trying to do a pre-game of the first grade, and we copped a little bit of flack then, and that was a little bit hard, I suppose. We just got to get used to it.
One question before we go. We're coming up to grand finals. Which two teams do you think are going to be in the top?
I personally think West might be gone. I think they've got some issues over there with a bit of attitude. I'd like to see South Macquarie to just mix it up a bit.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking South Macquarie. I think now that Coach Miller's flown the coop from West to Cessnock, there's probably a few issues over there, as Darren said, and I think South Macquarie would be a good grand final.
Lovely. Well, no matter what, you guys will be commentating. You met Fords and Butts, the faces now behind the voices.